Okay everyone, welcome back to another video on the channel today. And as you can tell, had a very frustrating morning on GT Sport. There is massive server issues early on in the day, and it's not just been for myself. I think on average about 50% of the lobbies have been getting disconnected. I didn't get in a single race for 5 attempts at racing, so I haven't managed to get a daily race A or B done. Nearly 2 hours of trying to get into a daily race A or B. I eventually gave up because it disconnected every time. I think by the end it was 6 disconnects in a row, which is a record. I've never had more than 2. So luckily we did get into a race. Like first attempt of the day, we went straight into daily race C, no issues, and got this race done. So luckily for me, I managed to get a daily race C in, but unfortunately we're going to have to hope that daily race A and B are working later on when we stream. But this is daily race C. It's Bathurst Group 3, obviously. We did test this out last night. I think the Corvette is good for the race. Also, the Supra should be alright, although the tyre wear might play a little bit of a factor on the Supra. But yeah, in general, the Corvette is always good for the race conditions at this track. It's also pretty good for time trial. I'm pretty sure you could get into the 58 with this car, or 59.0 or something like that with the Corvette. So yeah, Corvette, good shout for the race. AMG, a good shout. So we're going to go up the inside of the AMG there, taking that position and putting ourselves up to P11. So I accidentally did set a lap time on this. First out lap of the day, just warming up and just daydreaming away, and went over the line. Luckily, it was only a 2 minutes 2 because I was on medium tyres and I wasn't really pushing. I was just driving around, just trying to get used to it. As we have a car almost going into the wall in front of us there. So we're on the medium tyres. Now you do have to use both soft and medium tyres for this race. As I stated last night, it was very likely that both tyres were going to be required. And yeah, we're starting on the mediums because we're starting from P12. We're up to P11 at the moment. Now we worked it out last night that 4 laps on the medium, 5 laps on the soft tyre was pretty optimal. So we're going to probably follow that strategy. Although if there's an opportunity to go in lap 3, I was going to try it, but it all depends on what the traffic's like, and you know, are you going to get held up or something like that. So we're following behind P10 now, the Spanish driver. P9 going very wide into that left-hand corner, almost losing control of the car and going into the wall. Luckily, he managed to save that, and now we're into the slipstream of P10. And you may have noticed the driver behind, the AMG behind me, keeps getting very close in the braking zones and almost punting me. It's very scary when you've got a driver like that behind that just brakes really late and doesn't get the exit speed off the corner. So again, you're going to see through here as we go, and we decide we're not going to send it up the inside there because that would be too risky. And again, the AMG behind us almost kills us again. So quite scary when you've got that kind of situation going on behind. But luckily, we're still in P11. But again, we're not going to send it up the inside here. We're going to brake nice and early and try and get a good exit off this final corner. P10 goes a little bit wide. That is a free position. So yeah, just taking our time, being patient, and there's another position gain there up into P10. So now we're following behind the French driver, P9 there, in the Corvette. Also, a lot of Corvettes are going to be used for this race. Nissan GTR should be alright as well, but tricky to drive. Ford Mustang might be worth a go if you can look after the tyres, because I think it's actually pretty okay around this track. We're going to work our way up the hill now in the Corvette and into the braking zone, just trying to stay as close as we can, just using his slipstream to help pull us forward a bit. You can see we've got quite a few cars up ahead of P9. It looks like P7 P6 just ahead of P7, and P7 and 8 very close in front of us. So opportunities to gain a few places. We've got Consta also started behind us in this race, who I think didn't set a lap time. I would have probably been starting at the back if I would have remembered not to have set a lap time, but that shouldn't matter for later stream, because I would think the time that we've done there will still be about P16, 17, 18, something like that when we do the stream later on from the back of the grid. So now, just taking it very easy. One thing you always want to do at Bathurst is, you know, not overdrive the car, because very easy to make a mistake around this. So if the smoother you are around this track, it tends to be the faster you are. So just trying to keep smooth, brake early. You don't want to brake too late on these downhill sections, because if you brake too late on the downhill sections, your rear slides out, you lose a front end grip, you understeer, and it all just goes downhill. So I always find that Bathurst, braking early, being smooth, and then getting on the throttle nice and early always helps at this track. So yeah, we got ×7 tyre wear. So obviously the mediums are going to have no issue doing 4 laps at all. Now 5 laps on the softs is about, I think that's about the max. I mean, you can do 6 laps, I think, if you look after your tyres and go for that undercut maybe. But coming through here, we can see the 2 cars up ahead are battling. I was thinking about sending it here, but instead I decided to just back out again. We brake really early, downshift to second gear, let them battle it out as we have a car reset there. He must have gone into the wall or trying to pit maybe. I think he tried to pit and obviously hit the pit lane wall. We're going to go down the left hand side here now. We're 3 wide. The car in the middle now is going to brake very, very late there. And we managed to take 1 position, and now we're up the inside of the French driver. But we're about level on pace here, so this is a bit awkward because you never want to go around the outside of turn 1 really, because it's very tricky. So I decided to lift there and let him come back over to the racing line. However, he didn't really do that. He just stayed to the right hand side. So I then braked late as possible so that we can stay ahead of the Corvette, the yellow Corvette that's behind us, and we're still in P7. So a bit of a scruffy start to this race. We're losing a lot of time at the moment, obviously, on these medium tyres, but that is going to happen when you start from the back of the grid. You're always going to lose time at the start of the race. But I was expecting more people to be on the softer tyres, and it looks like a lot of people have started this race on the mediums and are going for that 4 lap and then 5 lap on the softs maybe. It does seem to be the way that a lot of these drivers are going to go for it, as we're following behind now the French driver, trying to stay as close as we can through this section. He runs a little bit wide there. Don't think he'll get dirty tyres from that, but yeah, there's no real overtaking opportunities on this section of track, so we're just staying behind, being cautious, making sure that we don't hit the wall or get a corner cut penalty, which is very easy to do on some of them corners there. And it might surprise you, but yeah, on the downhill section, if you cut that downhill section, you can actually pick up a 1-second penalty very easily. So now on the downhill section now, flat out into 6th gear, using the slipstream, and we might be able to go for an overtake here with the slipstream. Let's see, we're gaining. Will we be in a position to go for a move in the braking zone? We might just be able to do this. He puts his indicator onto the right, so that says to me that he's going to let us go up the inside. So yeah, thankfully, quite nicely done as well. We don't really lose any time. He doesn't lose time. And now he's got our slipstream also. So now we've got a bit. I was going to pit here. However, because I had a 1.7 second gap to P5, I thought, do you know what? We'll stay out, because that's quite a nice gap to just push now on the mediums and actually get a solid lap on the mediums. However, we caught up to P5 on the downhill section, going through here. You can see, and then as we come through here, we're nice and smooth. P5's looking a little bit rugged there, losing control slightly, but just about managed to stay on the track. And then on the downhill section, he turns in too early, has to counter it, hits the wall, and then Gran Turismo's lovely pinball physics there. Pinballing us off into the wall, and then we're pinballed onto the track, and another car hits us. Luckily, when the car hit us, meant we didn't lose too much time. We probably lost about 1.5 seconds. But it could have been worse. It could have been about 3-second loss. But yeah, unfortunately, it looks like we should have pitted it on lap 3. But yeah, not working out too well there. We're going to go up the inside now of P5 and try and get that position back, because I'm going to go in the pits on this lap. And we want to make sure we're ahead. As we look behind them, there was a car just going straight off there. I don't even think he braked. So no idea what's going on there. But that's not the track. So we're going to pit this lap, 4 laps on the mediums, and then do 5 laps on the softs. Now, like I say, I think you can do 6 laps on the softs, but, you know, it all depends. If we wouldn't have had that incident then, the strategy we were going for would have been perfect, but if I would have pitted lap 3, knowing that that incident would have happened, we'd have gained quite a lot of time. We'd have been much further up the track right now. So, yeah, just one of them things. You can't always predict stuff in races. So we're now in P11. And we've got some, I think, Consta behind us, who's already pitted maybe a lap or 2 before. And Ollie Racing in front of us there, who has already pitted as well. We should be able to get past some of these we should be able to get past Ollie pretty quick, because he's obviously on older tyres. And Consta's just probably going to try and stay with us. I didn't think Consta would battle us, because I knew that he had probably pitted 2 laps earlier or 1 lap earlier. And yeah, with tyre wear, that is going to cause you issues around this track. So we're catching up to P9 again. I think still some cars need to pit, so some of the cars that started on the soft tyres still need to go in the pit lane and get their pit stop out the way. But yeah, coming down the downhill section, trying to keep it smooth through here. You'll see, trying to be very gentle with the downshifting. It really does help at this track. If you're aggressive with your downshifting on the downhill sections, the rear will just step out, you know, instantly, and you'll just not only kill the tyres. As we come through here, there was an instant then, it looked like he was trying to take him out. It looked like the French driver was trying to take out Ollie Racing, but what I think actually happened was he lost control of the car on the downhill section and then tried to save it and hit into Ollie. But yeah, we took advantage. Consta did the exact same as what I did, because there was a gap up the inside and they were out of control. I just carried on the inside, a bit aggressive, but yeah, we weren't waiting around when they're sliding all over the place. So we're up into P9 I think now, but P5 because people are pitting. P6 you can see. I think that's going to be the position what we're going to get when we come out onto the main straight. Let's have a little look as we go past all the pit stoppers. And yeah, we're into P6. So not bad so far. Could be better. We would, I think, if we would have gone for that lap 3 pit stop, we'd currently probably be just ahead of P5. So maybe it would have been better to pit, but we might try that out later on in the stream. Obviously, when we get a chance to race some races, hopefully the servers are working later on. Who knows whether they're going to be broken or playing up or what, but there has definitely been an issue this morning. It wasn't just myself. There was, I think, every lobby that I tried, I noticed there was the next race, it was the same group of drivers coming back into the next race trying to get into that one. So that says straight away that there's obviously a server issue because they weren't in the race that I've been disconnected from. So yeah, hopefully they're going to get fixed, server issues. Hopefully it's just a little problem at their end and they can just sort out, and yeah, we should be okay for racing later on. As you see there, we're going on this lap and we're actually on a purple lap, 2 tenths faster than the fastest lap currently. However, I think that the fastest lap was done with a slipstream, because as we get on the downhill section, which we don't really make any mistakes here, we do it not perfect, but we do that okay, and we lose quite a bit of time on this section. So it says to me that that lap was done with the slipstream. However, I do remember the last time this track was on in these exact same conditions in the Corvette, we were doing, by the time we got fully up to speed, we were doing low 2-minute lap times, like 2-minute ones, and you know, 2-minute point ones and stuff like that in the race conditions. So yeah, I think even with slipstream, some people were hitting 1-minute 59s when they'd got a good slipstream. So yeah, expect some 159s with slipstreams and low 2 minutes by, you know, within a few days when everyone's up to speed. But yeah, we're up to P6. Let's see if we can gain any more positions. We're catching up to P5 now. I'm not sure what tyres P5 is on and what lap he pitted. I didn't catch that during the pit stop phase, but yeah, we're definitely catching up. You can see we're gaining a few temps here and there as we're going to fast forward the action up the hill through the first really fast right hand corner, and then on all this section, which is the twisty section. Just get this out of the way. No one in front of us really. We're just gaining time slowly on P5. So fast forward all the way through here, and then as we come on the downhill section, you can see we've gained already about 6 temps to P5. So we're gaining about 7 temps on that lap, is it? Something like that. As we come to the finish line, 1.6 seconds, it was 2.3. So around 7 temps we gained on him on that one lap. So yeah, we've got a nice gap to the cars behind. And as we come through here, he gets a little bit out of shape onto the grass, and that is very easy to do. I've seen that being done many a time at Bathurst. Luckily for myself, we also ran wide, but I made sure I didn't get flat on the throttle, and we got away with that. So yeah, up into P5. And now trying to see if we can catch up to Mario in P4. This is going to be a bit hard though. We've got over 2 second gap, nearly a 3 second gap to him, and we've only got 1.5 laps to go. So hopefully they are battling. They are very close. However, I don't think they're close enough to actually be battling at this stage. I don't know what tyres they're on. I don't know how old their tyres are. I don't know if they're on mediums or softs. But we are gaining on. You can see we gained half a second on that one corner alone. So the soft tyres obviously still driving quite well. We're in the 2 minutes. Lap 7 wasn't particularly great, but we're doing okay. We're going to see if we can push on now and see if we can get as close as possible to Mario. Will we be able to go for a move on him into the braking zone? Braking around the 150 board still, and you can see he's definitely losing quite a lot of pace. You can see we just gained another 3 temps just on one corner. So he's either really struggling with tyres or he's on medium tyres, but it's got to be struggling on soft tyres, because I think the medium tyres would still be a little bit faster than what it's showing at the moment. As we go, we're 1.7 seconds behind with 1 lap to go now, and he goes very wide through turn 1, so it does look like he's suffering with really bad tyre wear. So we gain another 3 temps on him in that one corner. Can we manage to get him before the end of this race? We've got 1.5 seconds to gain on him in 1 lap. However, his tyres do look like they are pretty gone. Can we manage to get ourselves up to P4? And frustratingly, if we didn't have that issue on the medium tyres at the start, I think we'd have had a podium in this, because we lost at least 2 to 2.5 seconds then with the battling and waiting behind drivers and stuff. but when you're starting from the back, it's always going to happen, stuff like that. So yeah, we're getting very close to Mario. You can see already nearly in his slipstream, so he has to have been on the soft tyres, but on very old soft tyres. My guess is he's pitted really early and got himself up to that position, but yeah, he seems to be really struggling now with them tyres. As you can see through here, we're going so much faster through here into the left hand corner. We're just lifting through. We have to actually lift quite a bit because there's nowhere to overtake through this section, so just being cautious we don't obviously get a penalty, hit the wall, or take Mario out through this section, keeping it smooth. And all we have to do now is just stay in his slipstream, stay around 3-4 attempts behind him, and we should be able to get a nice pass. So I stay quite wide on the entry point there and try and get myself a nice solid exit from the corner, early upshift into third gear, and now we're going to work our way downhill, shifting around 50% with the Corvette. Like I say, that is the fastest way to drive this car. If you didn't know, you do not rev this car out because it's slower when you rev this car. So yeah, you shift just past the 50%, around 55%, something like that, 60%, and we've managed to make that move, putting ourselves up into P4 and very, very close to P3 actually. It looks like we're under 2 seconds from him, so yeah, definitely if we wouldn't have had that issue, I think we would have had a podium in this race. So into the final corner, braking just after the 100 ball, keep it nice and close to the apex, early upshift to third gear, and we're going to take a nice P4. So unfortunately, that is the only race we've got for you today, which is really annoying because I spent 2 hours obviously trying to get a daily race A and B on there for you, but can't help server issues when the disconnects are like that, and I couldn't just sit there trying to do it for 3 hours because it was just wasting my time, and I needed to get the video done and I needed to go out and go to the gym and stuff. So yeah, unfortunately that was quite frustrating, but hopefully later on today we're going to have a chance of doing daily race A and B because they actually probably are going to be quite fun. Daily race B, Nürburgring Group 4, we already know that, we did that last night. And daily race A is the old Mini versus the new Mini, but it does look like the old Mini is the car to go, so we'll also be giving that a try later on. Anyway, if you did enjoy this video, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comment section if you've had any issues with the servers also, because I've seen quite a lot of people saying they've had issues with the servers, and hopefully it's fixed by tonight. Let me know in the comment section if it started to improve. Thanks again for watching, everyone. I'll see you all soon. Bye.